Hey guys, and welcome back to Pokémon. Don't worry, this is not a retake, I assure you, we're starting from the main menu for the most pure of reasons.
Yeah, I swore when I first saw this, when I was watching this ahead of time, I'm like, oh god, he dedicated an entire video to the retake, what the hell are you doing?
But no, we're getting something from the mystery gift here. I thought it would be best to show it off at the start of the part, and I don't know if this event will still be active at the time this video goes up, because I believe it ends January 2015, but you can get a shiny Beldum here. Beldum obviously being the initial form of what would eventually become Metagross, one of the best steel Pokemon ever.
Hey, I gotta agree, I like Metagross too, and it's kind of weird they're giving you such a Pokemon like this early in the game. I can't remember, was this like a pre-order bonus, or if you registered with Club Nintendo between a certain time frame?
Well, no, because one, I didn't pre-order, two, I don't really go in for Club Nintendo stuff, and three, as an addendum to that, if you pre-ordered, you got like 200 potions, I believe.
Wow, that's amazing. But what's good about this Beldum is that it actually it comes with a Mega Stone that you can later use to evolve Metagross into Mega Metagross, but we won't be seeing that for a long time.
Oh no, I've actually forgotten the level that Matang evolves into Metagross.
Matang? That sounds like some poisoned kid's fruit drink, doesn't it?
It's cool to have both like a Psychic and a Steel type this early in the game, because I believe like playing normally, the earliest you can get a Psychic type is a Ralts in the route like to the left of Old Dale Town, and that's like a pretty rare find. And Steel wise, maybe Aron from I think it's Granite Cave.
It's kind of interesting how it's level 5 and it's already got 4 moves already set up. That Beldum must have been working out while it was in transit, you know what I'm saying?
And it's shiny as well, so this may very well be the first legit shiny I've ever gotten.
Personally, I hate ordering Pokemon off of Amazon. They take so long to deliver. I much prefer the delivery girl in this game. It's just so much better.
Well, it will get to my house before Smash Bros. Wii U, I can tell you that much.
Giving JonTron some new ideas for the show.
Seriously, Helldragon, come on.
You know, it's always weird for me to connect that May is actually Birch's daughter, or son, you know, if you have Brendan be the other person. It just seems like something that was not meant to be, but it happened, so okay.
It's there. It's a fact of genetics. You know, Birch says May has been a trainer for a long time already. Why is her Pokemon the same level as all starters?
Well, what if she had like a Pokemon on the side that she's been training up for a really long time? Maybe she has a Charizard she knows off the way.
Yeah, her pen pal from Kanto said to her Charmander, she's just been raising that shit instead. Gotta keep the types even.
Yeah, she had to wait downstairs like all day for them to deliver that Charmander, you know, and they just left it on the front step. They were already driving off when she got outside.
Now you're just taking any opportunity to jab me, okay?
Hey, that happened to me too when I got my Wii U!
Okay. What are those dials doing in the background? I hope it's something proper and sciencey.
Well, I noticed that the textures are like really simplistic on that. That's like 90s, you know, polygon stuff going on.
That kid, like, to the south of Little Root looks suspiciously like Max. Little bit of a anime influence creeping in here. And yes, I know he looked that way in the original games as well.
Can I help you, Mom? This is my first chance to get out of here since, like, I was a baby.
Well, son, I know you're going off on your Pokemon journey, but don't forget to bring, like, a bottle of milk home. You know how much we love cereal.
Don't forget to eat your breakfast. Fruit salad. Yummy, yummy.
In the original game, I think this is where you got the running boots, but they couldn't do anything here, so instead the mother just awkwardly walks off after staring at you.
Well, bye!
Bye, I guess. Yeah, as you can see, you can just, like, run from the get-go here, which is pretty cool. I'm down with advancements like that, really.
I always thought it was weird that you needed shoes to run. Okay, well, I guess if your normal shoes were, like, that terrible no Dr. Scholl's kind of shit, okay, maybe that would be awkward to run in, but still.
Yeah, your initial shoes are just filled with, like, Geodudes or something. Really, really small Geodudes.
This is probably the closest you're gonna get to Pokemon going mobile, because she keeps giving you apps for your Pokénav. This app right here is really great. You can explain it, but I just wanted to tell, like, it makes looking for particular types of Pokemon really easy and effective.
I really wish you hadn't handed that baton to me, so to speak, because I was going to say, at the time of this recording, I've not really experimented with Alpha Sapphire as much as I would like, but the Dex nav here is pretty great. As you can see, there are silhouettes of Pokemon you haven't actually encountered yet on the screen, and those will fill in as you go along. So when you get onto a route, and like say you want to repeat Pokemon, you're looking for one with like better, moves, better IVs, EVs, what have you, you can just, oh, there is a Poochyena here, I will catch that.
Now she's talking here about how you can actually now sneak up on unique Pokemon with special moves they wouldn't normally learn. And for a minute there, my mind blanked, because I thought to myself, oh god, there's going to be a fucking stealth mechanic later in this game, isn't it? I just hope that's not the case.
Not really sure how to feel about the sneak mechanic, because I've said this in other playthroughs, and I think Luigi's Mansion, actually, during the final boss, but the circle pad is nowhere near as analog as I would like, so sometimes you can go from a sneak to a walk, and that would be, you'll be at the game's mercy here. At least it's not, the roller skating. I was never really down to clown with the roller skating in X and Y.
Yeah, if there was like a button you could hold down to sneak, I think it'd be a lot better, because, also see my complaints with Smash on 3DS. The circle pad, it's good in a general sense, but it's not nowhere near as precise as a traditional joystick. So, if you're gonna sneak in this game, you've got to be really, really cautious with it.
Now, this Poochyena has Ice Fang, and it's funny because when I caught one in Alpha Sapphire, it had Fire Fang, so maybe there are version differences as well?
I have a feeling like it really depends on, how the RNG rolls out. Like this one just so happens to have Ice Fang. You'd probably also encounter it in the other version too if you were lucky.
Yeah, if you got really lucky, you'd find one with Judgment.
Oh, this one's got a gun in its mouth. What? No, I don't.
Yeah, Poochyena, much like hyenas everywhere, seems tough, but if you apply a bit of aggression, it will turn tail and run.
So yeah, I got this reference that you're about to make.
Make mine a curb sandwich.
I didn't get that one, though. It's been a long time since I watched that movie.
Anything to say, May? No?
Oh, okay. That was amazing. You sure walked slower than normal.
I got my Pokemon the day before you got yours. Wow, you're amazing.
Yeah, you're like an expert trainer, May. Like a weird sonar system going on here, but it does, help out when you're trying to find particular ones. Like, I love how they're always, like, facing down. Like, they're chewing shit on the ground they found, like somebody dropped a cracker, maybe, and that's how you can find them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a trainer, he's walking around, he's about to capture me, but no, this graham cracker is of more importance.
I like to see you find trainers in that particular way. Oh, this one's got his ass in the air. Oh, I'm sorry, I found an M&M on the ground.
Here we go, our first proper trainer fight.
And it should be pretty easy. I mean, we did get a Beldum that knows, like, Zen Headbutt. I'm pretty sure we could take him at this point.
Let's give the DLC Mon a bit of a workout here.
No, don't do that. That's just giving Nintendo bad ideas. Oh, is it called Hobbs? Because that would be pretty nice, actually.
Calvin sent out Hobbs.
Good little shiny effect there. I always thought it was weird that Beldum was just basically an arm, and then Matang was 2 arms, and then Metagross is just 4 arms, and also they put a torso in there just to even things out.
Then he Mega Evolves and it becomes really gangly.
I don't even know what the fuck they're thinking with Metagross anymore. Soon the thing's gonna evolve in the future, over natural evolution. Not like Mega Evolution. It's gonna be like some crazy ball of arms Metagross. It's like, where's its mouth? I can't even see it anymore. Can this thing even breathe?
It can't breathe, it can't eat, it lusts only for destruction.
It just sits there waiting to die the moment it's born.
How do you feel about the updated trainer artwork for this game? There are some exceptions, but for the most part there are new bits and pieces of artwork.
Yeah, they used some new ones, but, to save some time and also to kind of play to some fan favorites, they do reuse some artwork from X and Y, and I've always been a fan of this art style, so I think it looks really good.
Ah, it's too bright! Wurmple fainted from the shininess.
If a Beldum didn't float, couldn't you just pick it up and then kind of use it as a club, would the club get experience or you?
It would have, like, really good balance. You could, like, use it as a hat stand.
Yeah, I mean, since Beldum is an arm right now, it's just floating in there. The claws that are sticking out of its ass just aren't doing anything. Like, what are they used for when it's a Beldum? I mean, like a Matang, it becomes fingers, but as of now, they're not doing anything.
Well, a Metagross, I don't know why we're getting so meta so early in the playthrough, is, I think a Metagross is like two Beldums stuck together, and like a Matang is like two Beldums, like, you know, forcibly put together. But I don't know, maybe you guys can let us know, like in the comments, because clearly we're not up to date on the Metagross lore.
They seem to rely on that a lot, where a lot of evolutions are Pokemon either grouping together or banding together. You got that with Magnemite, you got that with the, the Gears, whatever the hell it was called. I know Kling Kling is like his final evil, and then Dugtrio is just the laziest piece of shit. He gets two of his friends and they just decide to become one Pokemon. You know, apparently that's how it works. They signed a form. I don't know.
The Dexnav is really good for finding, like, I wouldn't say rare, but uncommon Pokemon, because I would have to search for quite a bit to find a Surskit, usually, but here I find one straight away. I doubt this guy will be in my party forever, but we currently lack a water Pokemon, and this one's Bug as well, so, you know, double the fun.
This one has a unique move called Felstinger, which I love because it always looks like it's shooting the other Pokemon in the heart and giving them a deadly disease. Still love how the ground is super pixely, too. I mean, the power of the 3DS. Okay, well, I know they can't do that for every... This isn't an HD console all the way. Okay, that's fine. You know, it looks good anyway, so... I'm just getting shades of that Surskit that, like, kicked the shit out of Ash in the anime. Like, this must have been, like, you know, with Pokemon Origins, they established where if you've had so many badges, they start using higher level Pokemon. I don't know what the Surskit was doing to become this hype piece of shit, but it must be, like, what, level 50 by now? Because it just knocked the shit out of Pikachu in, like, next county.
Skeeter is a nickname, like an informal nickname, for a mosquito, and, Surskit is not a mosquito. It's that type of insect that skims along the surface of the water. So, in my mind, my headcanon is that I named the Skeeter after the one from Doug.
Yeah, I was fixing to say, because I didn't actually know about the slang term for it, but I was thinking, yeah, you just named it after the one from Doug for some reason. All of these kids got, like, the same nose injury. I don't get it.
Probably part of the same family. Part of the same family with the same irresponsible parents.
They probably all tried to vault over the ledges that you usually take downhill, and they all landed on their nose in exactly the same way. They got like 10 kids going to their dads, "Our noses are bleeding, how did you do that?"
Yeah, I'm not even mad. In fact, I'm kind of impressed.
It's all synchronized, that's the best part about it.
Puchier's mouth looks kind of weird from the front, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like Sonic in that regard.
You've got the 3D models going on, and yeah, they look nice, but sometimes you just get some inaccuracies or oddities with the Pokemon designs when you have to actually put them in a three-dimensional environment.
And I can tell you now, obviously since Tailo is here, it's probably the best time to talk about it. Pokemon that are eligible to take part in Sky Battles that were introduced in, you know, X and Y still have their, like, flying stances, like Swellow, for example. His kind of looks really janky. Zaytu, I don't know what happened with him. He looks pretty bad.
What, they still have Sky Battles in this game?
I haven't come across one yet, but yeah.
I don't know, I would think that after the negative reception, they just dump that shit, because that would just create even more extra work for the remake they were doing, basically. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you never run into one again.
Berries, obviously introduced in Generation 3 back in the day. Don't be surprised if there's a lack of me equipping berries to people here, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, I kind of forget sometimes and just stick to potions.
Yeah, I did like berries like once or twice when I was playing this originally, and then I just forgot. I planted a few, I felt like I did my part for the environment, and then I pissed off.
I mean, like, you'll see your opponents using citrus berries especially late game, but I mostly use them in the menu rather than equipping them. Say, like, if I've run out of antidotes or full heals, I'll heal my Pokemon that way.
Snorlax would probably take berries so it could just snack in the middle of the battle. It's not even damage, it's just gonna eat Oran berries while it's doing stuff.
I'm pretty sure there was an episode of the Orange Island Saga that was like exclusively about Pokemon eating berries and turning pink.
What? That is even... Huh?
You don't remember that?
Hell no, that sounds like a weird episode.
So if I said to you, hey, your name could be Pikachu, that wouldn't ring any bells?
No, because I thought it would sound like you made up something stupid.
Well, that's the Pokemon anime for you.
I've never really been a big fan of Zigzagoon. Out of all the rodents, you know, you catch really early on, it's just really kind of low for me. I mean, even lower than, like, Rattata. And I don't know why, because he's technically more visually interesting, but he's just meh.
I forget, like, you know, the Pokemon that chases Professor Birch in the beginning. Was it a Poochyena in Alpha, or rather Ruby and Sapphire? Or was it a Zigzagoon? I'm getting Ruby and Sapphire mixed up with Emerald here.
No, I think it was a Poochyena. I have to go back and look, but I believe it was a Poochyena, because nobody in their right mind would get scared about a Zigzagoon. Oh no! Okay, well, unless they had, like, Pokérus, is like, if a human gets Pokérus, does he, like, die? Because in that case, yes, you don't want your Zigzagoon to be drooling all over people.
Yeah. Well, I should probably let you in on a little, like, trade secret. Pokérus is just a fancy name they came up with for rabies. Don't catch it, you'll die.
Or unless you're a Pokemon, you get stat boost, just like rabies in real life. I do have to admit, though, even though I don't necessarily agree with May being a stalker, she shows up way too fucking much early on. Like, you're stupid or something. You can't figure none of this out.
This isn't exclusive to the modern games, either. She did this in the original.
Wow, it's trees. Thanks, May. Oh no, it's beautiful. Okay, that's actually something to look at.
I was going to say, I thought the Dex Nav was playing up there, because if it can't differentiate between a tree and a Pokemon, we've got serious problems.
The Dex Nav is adept in trolling people. That's how advanced the technology is.
Don't take it to Kalos, it'll see you like a Trevenant and it'll blow up. Well, to be fair, these routes aren't exactly long, May. I basically took 5 steps and I made it to a new town.
Also, we weren't exactly traveling together. I sort of just ran on ahead and ditched you, and you just kind of hung in the back. Do you know how to hang out? Do you need help with that? Because, I mean, I can help out. That's fine.
Well, her mother did seem eager for, you know, us to be May's friend, so I guess May is just that loner kid right now.
My God, could you hang out with my kid a little bit? I know she's a little bit awkward. She likes Pokemon. You like Pokemon, right? You know, play some Smash with her. Just kind of get to know her a little bit. That's all I'm asking.
I gotta say, I'm more of a Battle Beater Man kind of guy, but I'll do what I can. I do what I can. And, I'm looking for a Ralts here. Let's see if I get lucky. This was completely unedited.
Well, hot damn.
Hot diggity daffodil.
Like, I watched this, I was like, holy shit, you found a Ralts on, like, your second try? Damn.
Yes. Rive in my cage of torment, my friends.
You know, I notice here this Ralts is, female. Maybe that's why the, Ralts we'll encounter later actually turns out to be male. I also noticed it has a boomerang stuck in his head. Are you okay? Do you want some help getting that out, or...?
But is that the source of its psychic powers?
Well, I guess you could get psychic powers if you live with a boomerang stuck inside your head. Oh god, the pain, but at least I can move shit with my mind.
Yeah, it's kind of interrupted the speech part of my brain, but hey, I can lift tables with my mind now, so, you know, swings and roundabouts.
I noticed the back trees there, they kind of look more... Well, they are sprites. Like, it's easy to see they're sprites, but they definitely look more distinctly hand-drawn than the trees up front.
I have no response to that. I'm just happy that you're happy with the quality of the trees.
I still love how Pokemon generate little platforms that they stand on.
Yeah, and when you, like, defeat them, the platforms disappear as well.
They're all, like, druidic or something. It's like the power of nature.
I think that's a limitation, like, with the hardware. Come, like, Generation 7 or 8, they'll just, like... Say, like, in Pokemon Coliseum, they'll just explode onto the battlefield proper. Okay, now we have a Psychic type and a Fairy type, a dual type, this early on in the game.
Yeah, we may or may not be using Beldum to do Psychic stuff. I mean, we might probably get rid of Zen Headbutt for something that kills a bit more quickly.
Now, I actually named this thing without looking at its gender, so... yeah.
You are confusing this Ralts. It's gonna grow up and it's not gonna know what kind of... if it likes boys or girls or not. Come on, man.
Uh-oh, back to the lab again. Okay, that's pretty much us for this part. Let's actually see. Oh, we have a minute left. Shit, I probably shouldn't have begun to sign off there. You do anything interesting lately, Helldragon?
I've been hoping my Wii U doesn't die. I've been playing a lot of that. And just writing some other stuff on the side.
Okay, well, shit, I guess I'll talk to the NPCs in the Pokemon Center. Something rarely seen in a HellfireComms Pokemon Let's Play. Also skill.
Yeah, you know, playing these kind of games, I just kind of avoid talking to NPCs in general because they're never really going to have anything I want to hear anyway, and I can already figure it out, so what's the point? I guess just to fill out the world, and that's okay, I guess.
Yes. You know, oh, grass types are weak against fire. I never would have known. Okay, just gonna back slowly away from this guy. The protagonist is 10 years old. We shall see you all next time for another part of Omega Ruby. Bye-bye for now.